Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, my name is Chenelle, the owner of 3 Balls Handmade Soaps and More. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this chamomile, milk, and oatmeal soap using the hot process method. Alright y'all, so as always, I have everything out on the table that I will be working with for today. And first up, I have this Calamine clay. I'm also going to be using some colloidal oats, as well as some buttermilk powder. Then I also have some powdered sugar here as well. And then to the right, since this is a hot process soap, I do have my crock pot over here. Now everything else is pretty much the same, so let me go ahead and clean off my table and then we'll get started. Alright, so first I started by weighing out my ingredients. Alright, so after I got my oils and butters up to temp, it was time for me to combine my water lye solution into my crock pot. Now, I did leave out a few steps. So if you're new to hot process soap making, I will have a few videos linked down below. Now, once I added in my water lye solution into my oils and butters, I just stick blended until I reached trace. Alright, so once I reached trace, I then kind of just scraped the sides using my spatula and placed the lid on. Now, y'all, this right here was about maybe 5 minutes into the cook, if that. I did have a volcano. I kind of got somewhat sidetracked doing something else, and when I looked around again, my soap, some of it was coming out of the back of the crock pot, out of the top of the crock pot. So I ran over, took the lid off real quick, grabbed my spatula, and kind of just stirred it up. Now y'all know, every time, if you've seen all of my hot process soap making videos, y'all know I always get my soap always volcanoes on me in the beginning. You know, when I first start cooking it, like within the first 5 minutes, it always volcanoes on me. I'm used to it. But so I just grabbed a spatula, like I said, just stirred it up, and then I did not have that problem anymore. Now, surprisingly, I will say, I don't know what was different about this particular soap, but once I stirred it up right here, this was the only time I had to take the lid off. Usually, I constantly have to take the lid off, you know, while it's cooking. But this right here was literally the only time I had to take the lid off, and it still cooked within the same amount of time, about, I think it was about like 40 minutes, somewhere in there. So I was very pleased with that. So your soap is going to go through a few different stages. Now right here, this is one of the stages. I did not take the lid off, and as you can see, it's still cooking. I just left the lid on. I just let it do its thing. Like, if it wasn't trying to come out of the top, then I just left the lid on. Since it wasn't trying to come out of the top, just leave the lid on. And then, like I said, it's gonna go through a few different stages. I will have a few hot process soap videos linked down below, so that way you can see the stages if you are new to hot process soap making. Because this video right here, I don't really like take the lid off and kind of stir it up and stuff like that. Like I said, I just let it do its thing. This is the first time I actually did not have to stir it, so I didn't want to disturb it. Alright, so after about 40 minutes or so, I finally did take the lid off, and this is how my soap looked. It had like a very, it was like a translucent look, had that translucent look, petroleum jelly type look to it. So at that point, I figured it was time for me to test my soap paste. And to do that, all I did was just take some distilled water, put my finger in the water, and put it right on the soap. I used my pH test strip and put it up to my chart, and we are sitting at 10. So true soap is between 8 and 10, so I am good to go. All right, so the first additive that I used was this Calamine clay. Now I went in with 2 tablespoons of Calamine clay, 2 tablespoons of colloidal oats, and 2 tablespoons of buttermilk powder. All of these were per pound of oils. Now after I added those in, I just stirred them up until they were blended up into my soap. Now I will say this, that Calamine clay, if I decide to use that in hot process, I'll make it cold process again. But if I decide to do that in hot process again, that will be added directly into my oils, and before I add in my water lye solution. Because right here, y'all, it felt like I was stirring this soap for decades. My arms were burning, both of them, trying to make sure that I had this clay mixed in with this soap as good as I could, as good as I could get it. But I was more so worried about the clay than I was the milk. Surprisingly, the milk actually blended a lot better than I expected. Y'all know every time I add powdered milk to my hot process soap, y'all know how my soap look whenever I do that. But so surprisingly, that blended well. But this Calamine clay, and you'll see it once I cut it, it gave me a hard time when I added it at trace. So again, the next time, if I decide to make this soap hot process, I will definitely be adding the Calamine clay to my oils and butters before I add in my water lye solution. And if you are finding this video to be somewhat helpful, please consider leaving me a thumbs up. It helps out our channel and I greatly appreciate it. All right, and here we are 24 hours later. I wish the color was a little bit more pink. Like I wish you could see a little bit more of the pink. I just recently did this soap cold process, but it was just calamine and milk. So if you haven't seen that video, be sure to check that one out. I will leave that link down below as well. But that video, the soap was definitely pink, a pretty pink. But this one, more yellow for sure. I use literally the same oils and butters. So I don't know, but did y'all see how that pink was the clay, the Calamine clay? When I cut this other piece, you'll be able to see that again. So like I said, the next time I make this soap, if I decide to do this hot process, I will be adding the clay into my oils and butters before the water lye solution. But y'all don't mind how thick these bars are. I kind of adjusted that a little. I adjusted my soap cutter a little too much. But I think these are going to be for us because I personally don't like the way that they came out. So, yeah. But I'm going to finish cutting these up, y'all, and then I'll be right back. And y'all be sure to tune in every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live, come chat with me, ask questions, all that good stuff. Again, that's every Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now here I am just adding the finishing touches to my soap. And y'all, just like that, we are all done. Y'all let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on that. Y'all see the calamine clay still in there. But yeah, let me know what you think, y'all. Here's our calamine milk and oatmeal soap, or oatmeal milk and calamine soap. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving me a thumbs up. And if you have not done so already, consider subscribing to our channel. And to all of our wonderful supporters out there, we love and thank you guys so much. And a special thank you to our Soap Chat members, Gina, Andre, Terry, Rita, April, Sasha, Letitia, and Karen. Thank y'all so much. And until next time, I will see you guys later.